and the other one will like burp.
Right, and also the female has a lot thicker bearded area right here, I think.
You can vent sex them too, but I never was successful at vent sexing them.
And that's white chucker, French red legs, mountain, bob white, and gamble. Compliments of my friend Vince. He insisted I have 12 partridge. Yeah, these things are comical, but they stink. They make a mess and it stinks.
So back in the 80s, I had some. I bought them for $500. I turned around a year later, I sold them for $15,000.
Oh yeah.
like 5 days later, I had somebody call me. I would have given you $30,000 for them.
They eat. They get a Missouri waterfowl and some grain. They're not an aggressive bird until they lay eggs. Once they lay eggs, you don't go in that pen without a stick or a board or something. They actually are very mean with that spur on their wing, but they'll pop you with that thing. They're good parents, but the strange thing is, and I've talked to several zoos, I've got all kind of paperwork up there that they've sent me and read. The babies will get, if they hatch maybe 4 babies, they'll get about 3 weeks old, and it's like one of them drops dead, they quit feeding, quits eating. 2 weeks later, one will drop dead. I've even had them to be almost as big as the parents and die. They're
so
very hard.
Is it an enteritis or?
I don't know what it is.
Because I was always under the impression that even though you think they're eating, they're not really eating or not eating enough. It's kind of like ruddy ducks or mergansers or squawk or something, where they actually have enough food in their yolk sac to last 2 weeks or so. And then that's when you would sustain the most losses right on that 15-day mark.
The only way that I could say that I know for sure what they are eating is when I always give them piles and piles of romaine lettuce, and they will sit in front of you and consume that.
But the other thing though is
anything out of that really.
That's what I was going to say. Is you're not getting anything out of it. So in essence, they're starving to death because they're not getting. So have you used like floating starter for the chicks? And
to be honest with you, I have used everything imaginable. I've even gone through the protocol with the zoos. The zoos are having the same problem. They're getting them up a certain age, and that's it.
So how big is the brooders that you're hand raising them in?
I start them off in just a small brooder and just get bigger and bigger with their age, like a 4x4.
Small 4x4 brooder?
And about probably 2 foot high.
What about a smaller brooder? Go as a smaller brooder.
That might work.
Because that keeps them focused. I was just, Ron Johnson up we were there a couple months back, and that was one of the things that was amazing about his pheasant setup is he's got like these little compartments. I mean, literally they were like a foot and a couple inches or so by a foot and a couple inches. And he had, he was using incandescent bulbs, so obviously they aren't going to overheat. But there were little tiny things, and that's what his opinion was. You need a smaller brooder for them. We've found the same thing with some of the ducks, some of the harder, like ruddy ducks and stuff. Smaller brooder. Keeps them focused, and they eat it. And obviously, as they grow, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, you'd have to accommodate them with the larger brooder. But I would also say, with a bird like this, I'm not really sure what kind of leg problems they imagine probably quite a bit, because I imagine they, keep especially with the protein. So you probably want to take them out and let them run around and get some exercise.
Well, see, and I use the small 10-gallon aquariums for my pheasants to start them off in, just a little aquarium with a light on top, But I hadn't thought about it with them, because the chicks are actually pretty good size, and we're not having any problem with fertility. If they set on 5 eggs, they hatch 5.
That's the thing, though, is I think you need to sometimes just focus them, get them a small. Right. But again, I haven't raised these things, so I'm just throwing something out there.
Sounds like something we might try.
I don't know if I've actually seen those Allens in real life before.
Beautiful little bird.
Yeah, they're a nice little bird.
But mean? Oh man, he's mean. And I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but this one is.
I had somebody wanted to swap me some ducks for Allens at one point. I'm like, yeah. And they never went through with it. I think they realized because they're like $600 a pair or something.
Yeah. Well, a buddy of mine told me he had a hen I could get, or would have one shortly. So, I mean, I'll pair him back up again, but he won't ever go in aviary with anything else.
Yeah. That is a nice bird.
Red bill, hornbills.
So can you tell us sexes?
Yeah, look at the. Okay, on the bell, the beak, he has a long black streak under on the right here. He is. See the black on his beak, the bottom of it.
Yep.
How much more pronounced it is than the other one.
But other than that,
that's it.
There's sexually monomorphic.
Size. Well, you can tell the size.
Yeah, there's a little bit of size difference. Yeah. So they just get in that box and they seal it.
And they mud it up till there's only room for her beak to come out of it. Just room for her to stick her beak out so he can feed her while she's sitting on the eggs.
So are they busy all day long, all the time, even when you're not here?
Yes.
Flying around and stuff?
Yeah. This is the...
No, just another when they're on the perch, or when they're breeding, do they breed side by side like the parrots, or does the male get on the back of the female?
Gets on the back of the female.
Gets on the back of the female.
Yeah. This is the Vanderdecken male for that female up on the hill.
Yep.
Now they are a lot larger bird. He's still small. He's still young. But the beak's entirely different with him. Instead of being black, it's the orange or red.
What kind of noise do they make? I don't think I've ever heard the noise of it.
Insignificant, not very much. Just
like a freckle duck?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, you didn't know they exist.
Yeah, these freckle ducks, they got like a...
These will make like a little squawking sound, but I think it's if they get startled or something. Just ordinarily, they don't make a lot of noise. And those are bamboo partridge on the ground. And what is this?
There's not many of those bamboo partridges around, are there?
Pardon? No.
No.
Common minus. They make all kind of noises. They mimic things too.
That's weird because back in the 80s and 90s, of course, all these miners were so common, and I mean you could buy, I don't know about common miners, but like a hill miner or something, like you could buy them for $300.
Well, see, I go back further than you. I remember when I was a kid going to Woolworth and buying hill miners for $25.
Yeah, that's right too. I forgot that they were actually at Woolworth too. Yep.
You could also buy monkeys at Woolworth.
Yep. I was actually talking to somebody the other day about you used to be able to go to pet shops and find monkeys and everything, and they're like, "What? I never heard of any such thing." I'm like, "I'm telling you, you can buy anything you want in a pet shop."
When I was 12 or either 13, Mom and Dad took me down to Florida and bought me a monkey, and I rode back in the back seat of the car with him sitting beside me.
What kind of monkey was it?
A squirrel monkey. Yeah. That thing got so mean he would get in the trash can.
Yeah, so I had capuchins.
Oh, those things are bad.
This male I had, he would get pissed off at me, and he would, because I put him inside in the wintertime because he can't live outside. He'd get shit from the bottom of his cage.
I was going to say he'd throw shit at you.
And then I had a vervet too, and the vervet, this one female, she'd get mad at me and she'd stick her bottom teeth out at me and come over and grab my nose. They're not just little tiny monkeys.
Oh,
they're what are they? Probably 7, 8 pounds of solid muscle. Yeah. And they can move like you can.
And you don't. They're one way today, and one day tomorrow they're a different attitude completely. Yeah, you never know. I'll tell you a funny story. I come in one day and Doug had put 5 black swans in the swimming pool. He said, "Look, they're beautiful," because he was staying home taking care of everything then. This was 20-something years ago too. And I said, "Doug, that was not a good idea." Well, he gets them out. I try to get the shit off the bottom of the pool. Well, it ain't possible. It's like concrete, I had to hire a diver and pay him several $1,000s to come clean that pool and scrape that swan shit off the bottom of the swimming pool. And Doug said, "Well, they were so pretty out there." I said, "Yeah, hell, look what it costs for them damn pretty swans out there."
So you raising these, or?
Yeah, the black Francolians. Yeah.
They raise up pretty good, or?
Yeah.
They lay a lot of eggs, don't they?
They do, and it's funny. You'll get a bunch one year, and you won't get many the next year. It's just strange. I love them. They're beautiful birds. Yeah, but birds like this, for some reason, they just never got good traction.